Do not put this shit off. This needs to be the core identity behind your brand. The identity of your brand is the most important thing ever. Welcome, Joyzer. Welcome to the Joyz Kingdom. In today's video, we're going to do 10 steps to launch a successful NFT project. I have my own 2 Genesis collections. I've also reviewed almost 100 projects in the NFT space. I've reviewed pretty much everybody, okay? I know I've seen what comes and goes. I see what works. I see what doesn't. I know this shit. And if you don't believe me, go through my fucking YouTube channel. I have reviewed fucking everybody. So I feel like I have some grounds to say this. And I've also interviewed quite a lot of founders of NFT projects. So first up, we're going to go through a checklist of just some basic shit that you got to have first. And then we're going to go through steps 1 through 10 and just lay out exactly what needs to happen to successfully launch your own NFT project. If you're excited to get into it, subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom. Daily uploads are not stopping. Leave a like in this video. Leaving a like on the YouTube videos is the algorithm. That's the currency of the algorithm. So I appreciate you doing that. If you're not already following me on Twitter, if you're not on my Discord down below, I don't know what to tell you. And while you're down there, use my Webull link. It's a crypto and stocks trading platform. You get 5 free stocks if you use my link. You get free money, helps me out directly. We all win. As you know, the goal of this channel is to instill the knowledge and confidence it's going to take to navigate this metaverse on your own one day. So if that sounds good to you, well, let's get into the video. And for any companies who want to get in contact with me, just email me at joyzofficial@gmail.com. Let's check out this checklist first. A couple things that you guys need to know before you launch your NFT project. I think these are like bare minimum shit that you need to know these things before we get into the steps of how to actually make this work. So first one, either already be successful in Web 2 already, or you need to be ready to build your brand with your true identity. Be clear with who you are, what you're trying to do, and be a little bit realistic with what you're able to actually come up with. And you need to be communicating with your audience, right? It's okay if you don't know what you're doing, but if you don't know what you're doing, then document the process of you figuring it out and let your audience grow with you, right? The Fairy Fiends NFT project with Brave is a great example of this. She's on TikTok documenting her own process, right? She's like, I don't know like what we're doing. We're just building our brand. I'm sharing what I know, trying to help people, trying to provide value. Here's my art. I'm going to do live streams, to do all these things, and people get to grow with the company. And it's not like she's like a multi-millionaire business investor, but that's another avenue you can take if you're not that. But if you are a successful Web 2 and you have a business or whatever, then start making content about that. Share what you know. Bring value to people who don't know who you are and say, here's what I've learned. Here's what I'm going to do, and take people through the process. And like Gary Vee says, document the process. Next one, realize it's going to be a 5x as far as work, 5 times more than you think it's going to be. And yes, you need people with business experience on your team, or you're going to have to learn the hard way. At least you need people on your side. You don't have to have them on the team, but have people on your collar that you can be like, yo, I don't know what this means. What's an LLC? Do I need to do this? And you got to have people who have experience in the business world, because business is part of the game. You need to have someone who understands business. So if you don't know them, start networking now. Get into Twitter Spaces, get into Discords, hop in, connect, talk to people, and make those connections, because you're going to need it. Next one, there's 3, I think there's 2 more. Connections are everything. Be ready in AMAs, build your name. So like I said, build your name out there, get a following, build your name, talk about what you know. And if you don't know, ask them fucking questions. Last one, be well versed in Web3 and the streets, or pay someone to be. What I mean by this is if you haven't spent a significant amount of time degenning in the space, talking to people, being in Twitter Spaces, doing all the things that you need to do to get acclimated in the NFT Web3 space, you're going to suffer. And it's going to show, because you're going to do things that are wrong, that you're going to do a Dutch auction. That's what I mean. You're going to do a Dutch auction when you shouldn't be, because nobody likes them. And if you had spent a couple months realizing that and knowing that people hate that shit, you wouldn't have done it. So if you're not going to do spending the work doing that on your own, at least pay someone who does know their shit. Like if you're going to pay, like for me or another YouTuber, pay it, because we know we're down there fucking in the dumps doing this shit. That's why we're able to make these videos and say, hey, fucking just spit shit for an hour and a half and just tell me shit, and just hire the person, do a commission, what's it called, like a phone call or whatever it's called, a client call, and just learn about the space and be ready to learn, because you're gonna need to know these things. Okay, that's all we have for the checklist. Let's get into these steps. Step number 1, you need the idea, you need the brand, attempt to solve a problem, be innovative. Think about everything we talk about in this video before asking people to invest their money. NFT projects are a business. It's an NFT business. It's a brand. You're building a business. You're starting a business. So in business, the very first thing you need to know is, what problem are you solving? And if you're not, then you need to figure figure out what you're going to do and why your brand matters. If your identity has nothing to do with anything and your brand has nothing to do with anything, it will not work. You need to have something in your brand that either A, fills a niche that needs to be filled, or 2, solves a problem that needs to be solved. If it does neither, you're not going to see success. You might see short to midterm success, but that's not what anybody wants. And if you're watching this video, chances are you're trying to do something with this. You're trying to capitalize on the opportunity, as you should. But if you don't have these questions answered, you're going to suffer. And do not put this shit off. This needs to be the core identity behind your brand. The identity of your brand is the most important thing ever. It is why my NFT project floors are like half an Ethereum when I am a small YouTuber, and in the grand scheme of things, am a tiny fish in a fucking ocean. Right? There's the reason. The identity behind who I am as a person, my morals, all those things go into my brand. And that's why the floor is expensive. It's not like I'm offering a ton of value. You know, I'm offering the value in the sense that I'm going to grow, and me having access to that is the NFT's value. Next up, step 2, create your Twitter, create your TikTok, and your YouTube, and your Instagram. Instagram's a little bit, you don't need Instagram, I would say, but I would definitely say TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. You need those. You need them. You need them. You need them. Don't make excuses. Make a TikTok, make a Twitter, make a YouTube. Now, why? YouTube utilizes YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts can blow up just like TikTok can, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to start posting content, obviously, because you got to get people to follow your project. Now, the reason you have your TikTok and YouTube there is so you can post YouTube Shorts and TikTok videos of either you streaming stuff, you talking about your project, you doing voiceovers, whatever content you're going to do. You're going to pay someone on Fiverr to make an animation. It's a great idea, by the way. You need to be posting these fucking everywhere. Get people to be excited about it. So excited that they're like, what is this shit? Let me get into this Discord. Then you make sure that all the socials are there. Make sure your project looks professional. And they say, oh, easy. Discord link, Twitter link, whatever it is. Make sure all that's there. Step 3. Begin posting every single day. Post helpful content, post what you know, post what you're learning, document, as I said earlier. All socials have different reasons. It's going to take effort, create value for people following, build the brand, take inspiration for their favorite projects. You're going to need to consume some content, okay? Gary Vee says this all the time. You got to consume and figure out what's going on down there to actually know what's going to happen, right? You need to be there figuring shit out. If you're not going to, you got to pay someone. Find a kid in college who will take however much money per hour and say, hey, you go on TikTok a lot? And they say, yeah, I spend 3 hours a day on TikTok probably. Okay, you understand the app, right? Yeah. You know what videos kind of pop off, right? Yeah. Okay, help me. That's how you do it. Okay, you don't have to spend $1 million. Just hire some kid, have them run their TikTok and say, here's what we need to have. We need a piece of this, we need a piece for this, we need a piece for this. We need to have 10 pieces of content this week. Make it happen. Go. That's what you should be doing. People aren't doing this enough because they don't think it's important enough, and I'm telling you, it fucking is. If you don't have the time and the energy to do it, you gotta pay someone. There's no in between there. No in between. Step 4. Pay someone on Fiverr, get some animated content, recycle it, reuse it. Recycle, reuse is the most important part here. You can recycle and reuse any video that does well, and it will probably do well again. There's a reason it did well. Okay, it wasn't probably luck. It was probably something about the video that made it go viral. And if it did, post that shit every single week. I know it doesn't fucking matter, especially TikTok and YouTube Shorts. It's sent out to strangers each time, right? So it's not like the same people are probably seeing it. It doesn't matter, even if they are. It's not like one thing I know from creating content every single day is that most people don't watch all your videos. So they're not going to know that you're posting every day. They're not going to care. You're just one person, one project out of a whole sea of projects. So do your shit. Pretend you're the only company in the fucking world and do everything that you want to do. You want to be the project that people say, damn, look what they're doing. Look how much shit they're doing. This is crazy. Step 5, support other projects, support other people, support artists. Support is a great way to build your own brand, build your own name, become someone in this space. It's also good karma. Good karma is real. Karma is a thing, okay? If you're a piece of shit, you're always going to get what's coming to you at the end, right? But if you're a good person, you're a good project, and you truly care, and you want to support, you want people to support you, right? Like, you want people to come to your project and truly support. So you're going to have to put that energy out there. I believe in energy. I believe in vibration. It's a thing. It works. It's working with my brand. It works with everyone's brand. Everyone who raises their own vibration, the entire universe comes up and meets you. That's just how the world works. Step 6, find devs. Find anyone, developers, by the way, coders, shit like that. Find anyone who can help the project, get mods, community managers, build a website, mint website, those kind of things. You need those things to be like happening. And if you're an NFT project, for example, you can get mods. A lot of them will work for free. There's a lot of people who want to work in this space who have no experience. utilize that. Say, hey, you're working hard. I see in the Discord all the time. Do you want to get a mod role? You can put it on your resume, put it in your Twitter bio. Boom. Now you have something on your resume. That's how you get a lot of people. Okay, that can work. And if you want to get someone who's a little bit more experienced, you probably have to pay them. Maybe you have to give them the free mint, whatever the case is. So you need to get these people though. You need to get a team together. You're not going to do this all on your own. Unless you have a lot of free time, you're not going to do this all stuff alone, like just logistically. So find people who can do it. Learn to delegate, learn business, and that's where the experience is going to help. As I said earlier in the checklist, having someone to call and say, hey, I don't know what to do. They're probably going to tell you to find someone. And you can find someone in Twitter Spaces, go on Twitter, Discord, wherever, and say, hey, here's what I'm looking for. Here's what we got. Is anyone interested? You're probably going to get some people. Step 7, have AMAs with new projects. Utilize your connections. AMAs are the most important thing you will ever do for an NFT project. A lot of people do them on Twitter Spaces. Really good. You always will get new followers on Twitter Spaces pretty much. AMAs are incredible. Do them with a lot of projects. Say, hey, let's do an AMA together on Twitter Spaces. We'll give your community 5 whitelists or something. Boom. Antebellum NFT is a project that did that every single day, like multiple times a day. I had a podcast with Sharif, as I said in a video earlier this week about my tips for NFT projects. If you haven't seen that video, by the way, you should probably watch that video. Those are my best tips for NFT project founders. He also did AMAs every single day, and guess what? His brand is incredibly strong. His following is incredibly strong. People love Sharif. In our podcast, we did a live, by the way, on YouTube. It had like over 100 people, and it was like a Sunday night. It was ridiculous. Like the chat was just popping. So it's important. Step 8, reach out to respectable YouTubers and try and get some organic-ish content about your project, and audit yourself. Audit your own NFT project in the contract by other people. If you got to pay them, pay them. But what I mean here really is to make sure that you got something here. Reach out to people on YouTube who you respect, who aren't just taking every single promo under the sun. They're not selling out their own subscribers. People that you respect, and say, hey, here's the idea I got. Maybe either pay them for a video or say, like, what do you think? Maybe I'll give you OG or something to make a video, whatever. We'll give whitelist community spots. But make sure you're a little bit picky with who you do this with. Don't do it with everyone and anyone for content creators, because some don't have any respect for themselves even. Just be careful with who you do it. And then auditing your own contract. This is big. This is a big flex for you, because you get to say, we audited our contract. Boom. No one else does this. But it's also good because you know how many projects fuck up their mint day because they screwed something up in their contract? Don't be that project. It does not leave a good taste in your projects, in your holders' mouths, like the first day of like the mint and everything goes fucking wrong. Audit your shit by multiple people. Get multiple people to look at your contract, pay them if you have to, and say, are we good? Is there any holes in here? Is there any stupid shit we got to worry about? Let's address this now. Step 9, have events, have giveaways before your mint, build the brand further, and separate yourself from the crowd. Be that project. Be the project, the one that's doing it all before the mint, because it's important. For a lot of projects, they don't have any experience before to be like, here's what we did in a project before. Like, that's why Moonbirds took off, because people behind the project have proven themselves already in Web 2. So if you don't have that, especially, you gotta do shit that says, hey, we follow through on our shit, we do these things different, therefore you should follow us because we're dope. That just makes logical sense to me. Wolfboy Project is an example of an NFT project doing that right. They're doing giveaways all the time. They're doing a lot of things pre-mint, really building the name out there organically. It's dope. Step 10, this is the last one. Build. Don't be swayed by short-term events or hiccups. They don't matter. Continue. The most important thing is to establish value to people in your community. Remember, the mint is just one day. The mint is just one event. It's one speed hump. It will be okay, but make sure you're being open and communicating that with people, and just tell them like, hey, look, here's what we're doing, right? If you believe in this, this is where we're going. So the little things don't matter, and make sure you're communicating this. The people are actually hearing you here, and this is where your identity behind the project, your brand, your founders being active in the community and talking to people, this is where it's so important, right? And if you don't think that maybe this is too much pressure, you're like, man, this mint day is too much, I have a great solution to you. I also made a video on this, I don't know if it's out already, about Genesis collections. Have smaller collections that lead up and build and grow into the biggest, to your big brand, right? You can do that with little projects, or you can just say, hey, we're gonna do the first 200 now, the next 500 in 2 or 3 weeks, the next 500 the next 3 weeks, and that kind of thing, where you build and build, rather than dropping 5,000 all at once. You might not sell out. Not selling out in this space is like a cardinal sin, so that's one way to kind of avoid that. Anyways, that's my 10 tips for launching a successful NFT project pre-mint. If I left anything out, if you have any questions, leave them below in the comments. Again, if you want to get in contact with me, just email me at georgeofficial@gmail.com. If you like this video, if you learned something, subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom, click the like button. I appreciate it. It really does help me out. If you're not following me on Twitter, if you're not my Discord down below in the description, I can't help you anymore. I just can't help you. Make sure while you're down there, get your 5 free stocks using my Weibo link. Crypto and stocks trading platform made easy. If you want to see more of me right now, click on one of these boxes on the side of me. Until next time, continue on your journey, continue to learn, and be grateful you're alive watching this video. Bye.